My friends, within you lives a power far greater than any pain, any limitation, any condition that seems to trouble your mind or body. This power is the infinite healing presence, always ready, always responsive, always working in perfect divine order. Today, I want you to understand a profound truth. Your pain is not your master. Your mind is. And the moment you speak to your pain with conviction, with faith, with the authority of the infinite, it must obey you. For all discomfort is but the shadow of false belief, and light dissolves shadow instantly. There is no healing force outside you. The healing river flows through you now. When you direct your subconscious with words of harmony, peace, and wholeness, it reorganizes every cell, every nerve, every function of your body into perfect balance. So speak to your pain calmly, lovingly, firmly. Tell it, you are leaving now. The divine order of healing is restoring me. And watch as the unseen powers of your subconscious begin their miraculous work. This is the law of mind, the science of healing, the divine order that always responds to your faith. Today, you will learn how to use it consciously, deliberately, and joyfully, so you may walk free, whole, and radiant with the life of God. Your subconscious responds instantly to the voice of authority because it is the silent, obedient, creative power that shapes every experience in your life. It does not question, argue, or analyze. It simply accepts whatever impression you give it and brings it forth into expression. When you speak with authority, conviction, and certainty, you impress the subconscious with clarity and direction, and it begins to reorganize your inner world to match the command. This is why weak, fearful, or doubtful statements create confusion, but firm, definite statements create results. The subconscious mind functions like fertile soil. It accepts every seed planted in it and produces according to the nature of that seed. A seed planted with hesitation or fear grows slowly, inconsistently, and produces little. A seed planted with confidence, belief, and authority grows strong and manifests powerfully. It is not the words alone that move the subconscious. It is the feeling behind the words. When you speak to your subconscious with a trembling voice filled with uncertainty, it senses the vibration of doubt and reflects that doubt into your body, your emotions, and your circumstances. But when you speak as one who knows, as one who understands the creative law of mind, your subconscious receives the message as truth and instantly begins its miraculous process of creation. Authority in the realm of the mind is not about shouting or forcing. It is the calm, steady assurance that what you say is already a fact in the invisible. It is the inner certainty that the law of your mind responds to you infallibly, consistently, and precisely. This calm authority is what dissolves pain, transforms conditions, and changes the direction of your life. You do not need to beg for healing or plead with life to help you. You issue the command, and the subconscious obeys. You do not ask pain to leave in a tone of fear. You declare its departure in the tone of truth. You do not whisper your healing as a distant hope. You state it as a present reality. The subconscious mind accepts whatever is repeated with feeling, whether positive or negative. If you continually say, "I am in pain, I am suffering, I cannot get better," the subconscious assumes that this is your desired state and maintains it. But the moment you speak from the position of authority, "This pain is leaving my body now. Divine healing power is flowing through me. Every nerve, muscle, and cell is responding to perfect order." The subconscious receives a new blueprint. It immediately begins to shift the currents of energy, the flow of blood, the release of chemicals, and the signals of the nervous system to align with the command. There is no delay in the subconscious response. The changes may take time to appear in the body or circumstances, but the response itself is instantaneous. The moment you speak with true authority, the subconscious begins constructing the new reality. This is why Joseph Murphy emphasized that your subconscious is like a loyal servant. It does not initiate, it responds. And it responds according to the tone of your belief, not the volume of your voice. Authority comes from understanding the nature of mind. Once you recognize that your subconscious is a law, an impersonal, obedient force that must follow the direction given to it, you stop speaking weakly. You stop affirming limitations. You stop giving energy to fear. Instead, you speak as the owner of your consciousness, as the master of your inner world, as the one who knows that thought is the governing principle of life. Imagine someone giving a command to a well-trained assistant. They do not yell, they do not panic, they do not repeat the command in 20 different ways. They speak once, clearly, confidently, and it is done. This is how your subconscious responds to you. When you speak to your pain with authority, the subconscious begins shutting down the false signals that amplify discomfort. It releases calming chemicals, restores balance, and brings harmony to the system. When you speak to your body with authority, it hears you. When you speak to your circumstances with authority, they shift. When you speak to your future with authority, doors open. The key is not force, it is certainty. You cultivate this certainty by reminding yourself daily that the subconscious is your silent partner in creation. It is always listening, always responding, always obeying. Every command you give it becomes a seed, and every seed becomes a manifestation. So speak not from fear, but from knowing. Speak not from doubt, but from truth. Speak not as one seeking power, but as one who already possesses it. Your subconscious responds instantly to the voice of authority, because authority is simply the recognition of the divine power working through you. When you speak as the channel of that power, nothing can stand in the way of your healing, your peace, or your transformation. Pain dissolves when you withdraw belief from it, because pain, whether physical or emotional, feeds on your attention, your identification, and the silent agreement you make with it. Pain is not merely a sensation, it is an interpretation, a meaning you assign, a mental response that amplifies or weakens the signal. Many people unknowingly reinforce pain by constantly affirming it. This hurts. This won't stop. This is getting worse. I can't handle this. Every time such thoughts are repeated, the subconscious receives the message that pain is important, pain is dominant, pain is real for you. And because the subconscious mind magnifies whatever you focus on, the experience of pain becomes more intense. The moment you withdraw belief from pain, you take away its inner fuel. Pain cannot persist when the mind stops reinforcing it with fear, attention, and identification. You weaken the emotional charge behind it, and the subconscious begins neutralizing the sensation. Belief is the invisible energy that amplifies any condition. What you believe grows. What you emotionally accept becomes your reality. When you say, "This pain is ruining my life," you are energizing it with conviction. When you say, "I can't escape this pain," you are instructing your subconscious to maintain it. But when you remove belief, when you stop calling it yours, stop dramatizing it, stop attaching a story to it, you strip pain of its authority. You begin to see it as a temporary signal, a passing sensation, not a permanent truth. The subconscious mind accepts this new perception and responds by weakening the neural patterns that sustain the discomfort. Pain persists when the mind clings to it as an identity. People often say, "My pain, my back problem, my condition," without realizing that the subconscious interprets this as ownership. Anything you call mine becomes a part of your self-concept, and the subconscious works tirelessly to maintain whatever you identify with. The moment you stop claiming the pain, when you simply observe it without adding the label "my," you create distance. This distance weakens belief. And where belief dissolves, pain loses its psychological anchor. Instead of saying, "My pain is terrible today," you shift to, "There is a sensation here, and it is subsiding." The subconscious, always literal and obedient, responds to this release of ownership and begins diminishing the intensity. You withdraw belief from pain when you stop feeding it emotional energy. Fear, frustration, resentment, and anger create tension in the body and reinforce pain. Calmness, acceptance, and neutrality release that tension. When you breathe deeply, relax your shoulders, and mentally affirm, "This sensation is losing its power. I release all belief in it." Your body receives a clear message. Muscles loosen, nerves quiet down, and the internal chemistry shifts toward healing. It is not magic. It is the natural function of the subconscious, responding to your inner state. Emotional peace dissolves pain, just as sunlight dissolves darkness. Another way belief in pain weakens is by replacing fear-based thoughts with truth-based thoughts. The mind cannot hold two opposing beliefs at once. When you affirm, "Divine harmony is restoring me now," "Every cell of my body is filled with peace," or "I am calm, I am whole, I am improving," you are giving the subconscious a new blueprint. This new blueprint pushes out the old belief in pain, because the subconscious cannot maintain contradicting patterns. As belief in healing grows, belief in pain automatically diminishes. And because belief is the creative force of the subconscious, the physical experience must shift accordingly. Pain is often intensified by imagination. The mind projects future suffering, exaggerates sensations, or creates catastrophic thoughts. These distortions strengthen belief in pain. But when you bring your attention to the present moment without projecting fear, without dramatizing, you break the cycle. You simply observe the sensation as neutral energy. Once you stop interpreting it as a threat, the subconscious deactivates the fight-or-flight response, which reduces inflammation, tension, and nerve sensitivity. You withdraw belief not by fighting the pain, but by refusing to fear it. What you do not fear cannot dominate you. Understanding that pain is not a fixed reality, but a malleable interpretation gives you power. When you stop saying, "This pain controls me," and begin affirming, "My mind is stronger than any sensation," you shift your identity from powerless to powerful. The subconscious follows this shift instantly. It begins reducing the intensity, rerouting neural signals, and restoring balance. Pain weakens because your belief in its power weakens. Every time you redirect your focus toward peace, healing, and calmness, you are withdrawing belief from pain and feeding the belief in well-being. And whatever you feed grows. Pain dissolves when you starve it of belief and nourish the truth of your wholeness. The subconscious mind takes your belief as a command. When you stop believing in pain, pain stops believing in you. Your word is the creative force that directs healing, because every word you speak silently or aloud carries thought, belief, emotion, and intention. Words are not just sounds, they are commands, instructions, and blueprints the subconscious mind receives and brings into manifestation. When you say, "I am healing," "I am strong," or "I am becoming whole," you are impressing the subconscious with images of restoration and harmony. When you affirm something with feeling, your subconscious accepts it as a directive, begins reorganizing the inner processes of your body, and moves them toward the condition you declare. This is why Joseph Murphy emphasized that your words shape your experience. They act as the seeds from which your healing grows. Words infused with faith, confidence, and certainty carry tremendous creative power. They are like spiritual electricity, activating hidden forces within your mind and body. The subconscious does not resist or question. It accepts whatever is consistently spoken and emotionally felt. If you speak words of fear, "I can't get better," "nothing works for me," this pain is permanent. You create a mental pattern that reinforces the problem. But when you speak words of healing, "My body knows how to restore itself. Divine life flows through me. Every moment I am improving," you create a new mental pattern that dissolves the old one. The subconscious follows the pattern of your spoken word with exact precision. The tone of your words matters as much as the words themselves. A statement made casually or without belief does not penetrate deeply, but a statement filled with conviction, a quiet inner certainty, becomes a powerful command that the subconscious must obey. When you speak with authority, you awaken a healing response. The internal chemistry shifts. Stress signals quiet down. Healing energy flows more freely. Blood pressure steadies. Muscles relax. The body listens to the emotional tone behind your words and mirrors it. Calm words create calm systems. Strong words create strong responses. Healing words create healing changes. This creative power does not depend on perfect phrasing or poetic language. It depends on belief. A simple statement like, "I am getting better every day," can unleash more healing power than a long, complicated affirmation if it is spoken with sincerity and trust. The subconscious mind responds to the feeling behind the words, not the complexity of the vocabulary. When your words align with your intention, the subconscious moves mountains to fulfill that intention. Negative words also influence the subconscious, which is why it is essential to become aware of habitual speech patterns. Phrases such as, "I'm always tired," "I can't stand this pain, this is killing me," or "I never heal fast," may seem harmless, but they act as seeds of limitation. Repeated often enough, they create subconscious programs that shape your physical and emotional reality. The body listens, and it responds accordingly. When you realize this even partially, you begin to choose your words with greater care, because you understand that every word is a building block in the creation of your experience. Healing words act like medicine for the soul. When spoken with belief, they calm the nervous system, reduce stress hormones, and create a biochemical environment that supports restoration. Scientists often say the body heals best when it feels safe. Words of peace, assurance, and strength tell the subconscious that it is safe. This safety triggers healing responses. Words like, "I am safe," "I am supported," "My body is cooperating with me," or "Healing is happening now," create a deep inner relaxation that allows the body to repair itself more efficiently. Your spoken word also directs your focus. When you say, "I am healing," your mind begins searching for signs of improvement. It becomes more aware of progress, however small, and this awareness reinforces belief. Belief strengthens the effect of the words, and the cycle continues upward. The opposite is also true. Negative words shift your focus toward what is wrong, and the mind amplifies it. That is why speaking healing words is not only a spiritual practice, but a psychological and physiological one. The creative power of your word is strongest when you speak in the present tense. Statements such as, "I am whole," "I am improving," "I am filled with healing energy," tell the subconscious that this is your current reality. The subconscious does not understand future tense. If you say, "I will be healed someday," the subconscious interprets it as healing is not happening now, and it maintains that condition. Present tense words create present tense results. Your word is the steering wheel of your healing journey. Each statement turns your subconscious toward health or away from it. You do not need to force healing. You simply speak the word that aligns your mind with truth, and the subconscious fulfills it. When you speak healing words consistently, calmly, and confidently, you are programming your inner world for transformation. Your word becomes the bridge between thought and manifestation, between faith and experience, between desire and reality. Your word directs healing because it is the spiritual instruction that guides the creative intelligence within you. Divine order restores harmony to every cell and organ because the body is designed with an inherent intelligence that knows exactly how to repair, regenerate, and return itself to balance when the mind aligns with truth. This divine order is not something you create, it is something that already exists within you, waiting to be activated by your belief, your calmness, and your willingness to trust the healing power within. Every cell in your body has a blueprint of perfect functioning. Every organ has a natural rhythm. Every system, circulatory, nervous, immune, digestive, operates according to a precise and harmonious pattern. When your thoughts are peaceful, confident, and aligned with the idea that divine order governs your being, this inherent intelligence flows freely. But when fear, tension, or chaotic thoughts dominate the mind, they disrupt the natural rhythm, creating imbalance. Divine order is restored the moment you turn your thoughts toward harmony. The subconscious mind is the gateway through which divine order expresses itself. It controls involuntary functions, breathing, blood flow, digestion, immune response without effort from you. When you affirm, "Divine order governs my body now," you are not making up an idea, you are acknowledging the deeper truth that the body was created to heal itself. The subconscious takes the statement and begins reorganizing the internal processes to match it. Cells receive clearer signals, stress hormones decrease, blood pressure settles. The immune system becomes more efficient. The subconscious mind follows the spiritual command of harmony with absolute precision. It knows what to do, how to do it, and when to do it, as long as you do not interfere with fear-filled thoughts. When your mind is filled with discord, "I'm afraid, I'm getting worse, I don't know what's happening," that discord becomes a mental blueprint the subconscious must follow. Stress. Chemicals flood the body. Muscles tighten. Inflammation increases. Healing slows down, not because divine order is absent, but because it is blocked by mental confusion. The moment you shift your attention from fear to truth, from chaos to calmness, you open the channel again. Divine order flows like a river, restoring every function to its rightful state. Harmony in the body begins with harmony in the mind. When you deliberately think thoughts of peace, "I am calm, I am guided, I am supported by the infinite," you create a soft, receptive mental environment. The subconscious responds to this serenity by relaxing the body. Relaxation is the gateway to healing. Calmness opens the door for the natural intelligence of the body to do what it was designed to do. Divine order does not work through tension, it works through ease. Every peaceful thought sends a message of safety to the subconscious, and safety is the signal that activates the body's repair mechanisms. Divine order is not a mystical concept, it is the natural law of balance operating at every moment. Think of how a wound heals without any conscious effort from you. Skin regenerates. Blood cells rush to protect the area. Tissues rebuild themselves. The rhythm of healing is automatic, intelligent, and perfectly coordinated. This is divine order at work. When you align your mind with this truth and stop resisting or fearing the process, healing happens faster, smoother, and more completely. You are cooperating with the intelligence that governs life itself. Each organ in your body has a perfect design. The heart beats in a steady rhythm when the mind is steady. The stomach digests efficiently when the mind is at peace. The liver detoxifies more effectively when the emotional body is calm. Every system responds to the dominant mental atmosphere. When you affirm divine order, you are giving permission for every organ to return to its natural rhythm. The body hears the command through the subconscious and begins harmonizing its processes. Belief in divine order is powerful because belief unifies the conscious and subconscious mind. When both parts of your mind agree on harmony, the body must reflect that agreement. It cannot do otherwise. The body is simply the outer expression of the inner pattern. Shift the inner pattern, and the body follows. Divine order restores harmony by dissolving the mental resistance that blocks healing. When you release thoughts of struggle and replace them with thoughts of alignment, you create a clear channel for the healing intelligence within you. Your cells respond immediately. Your organs respond immediately. Your entire system begins adjusting to the rhythm of peace. This is the natural state of your being. Healing is not something you force, it is something you allow. Divine order is always present, always working, always ready to restore harmony to every cell and organ the moment your mind aligns with truth. Faith-filled statements override fear-based signals because the subconscious mind cannot hold two opposing beliefs with equal strength at the same time. Whichever belief is stronger, faith or fear, becomes the command the subconscious obeys. Fear sends chaotic messages into the body. Tension rises, breathing becomes shallow, the nervous system becomes overactive, muscles tighten, and chemicals associated with stress flood the bloodstream. These fear-based signals amplify discomfort, weaken healing responses, and create confusion. But the moment you introduce a faith-filled statement spoken with conviction, the emotional atmosphere changes. Faith carries a different vibration, steady, calm, affirmative. It sends a message of safety, strength, and certainty to the subconscious mind. When spoken consistently and with feeling, faith becomes the dominant signal, overriding the chaotic impulses generated by fear. Fear makes the body contract, faith makes the body open. Fear restricts circulation, slows digestion, increases inflammation, and disrupts the natural flow of healing. Faith relaxes the body, calms the mind, and rebalances the internal systems. When you say something like, "I am safe," "I am healing," or "everything is working in my favor," you are not merely using positive language, you are communicating a new blueprint to the subconscious. This new blueprint instructs the body to cease defensive reactions and shift into a state where restoration is possible. Every faith-filled statement becomes a signal that tells the subconscious, "There is no danger here. Begin healing." Fear-based thoughts often come with strong emotional energy, which makes them feel convincing. But faith-filled statements, when repeated, eventually gain their own emotional weight. Each repetition strengthens neural pathways associated with peace and assurance. Over time, the faith-based pattern becomes more familiar, more natural, and more powerful. The subconscious begins to respond more quickly to those thoughts than to old patterns of fear. This is how individuals shift from anxious patterns to peaceful ones, through persistent repetition of faith-filled words backed by calm, consistent feeling. You can observe how this principle works in the body. When someone dwells on fearful thoughts, "What if I get worse? What if this never ends?" the heart rate increases, muscles tense, and the breath becomes shallow. When they replace those thoughts with statements like, "I am protected," "I am guided," or "I am improving every moment," the physiological response reverses. The heartbeat evens out, the breath deepens, and the nervous system transitions from fight or flight to rest and heal. This shift is not accidental, it is the direct result of the subconscious receiving new instructions from faith-filled language. Faith-filled statements also interrupt the mind's tendency to catastrophize. Fear makes the mind imagine worst-case scenarios, projecting danger into the future. But when you declare words like "divine wisdom is guiding me" or "I am surrounded by healing energy," you pull your focus back into the present moment. The present is where the body can relax. The present is where healing occurs. Fear thrives on imagined futures. Faith lives in the now. As you anchor your attention with affirmative words, you dissolve the mental fog that fear creates. Clarity emerges. Calmness returns, and the subconscious follows the new mental direction. What makes faith-filled statements so powerful is not just their positivity, but their alignment with truth. Fear often exaggerates and distorts reality. Faith brings you back to the deeper truth that you are supported by a higher intelligence, that your body possesses extraordinary healing abilities, and that your mind has the power to influence your internal environment. When you affirm these truths, your subconscious recognizes them, responds to them, and begins adjusting your inner world accordingly. Faith is not wishful thinking, it is the recognition of the deeper order behind life. When fear is active, the subconscious interprets every sensation as danger, intensifying it. A small discomfort becomes magnified, a simple ache becomes alarming. But when you speak faith-filled statements with authority, "This feeling is passing, my body knows exactly what to do, peace is flowing through me now," the subconscious stops misinterpreting sensations. It no longer sees pain as a threat, but as a temporary signal. The fear response quiets down, the sensation loses its emotional voltage. And because pain is both physical and interpretive, removing the fear reduces the intensity dramatically. Faith-filled statements also create momentum. The more you speak them, the more natural they feel. The more natural they feel, the quicker the subconscious accepts them. The quicker the subconscious accepts them, the faster the body responds. When you repeatedly affirm thoughts of peace, strength, and healing, you build a mental environment where fear cannot take root. Every word becomes a stabilizing force. Every statement becomes a bridge toward wellness. Ultimately, faith-filled statements override fear-based signals because they speak the language the subconscious understands: conviction. The subconscious obeys the strongest emotional impulse, and faith, when practiced, becomes stronger than fear. Fear fades, the body relaxes, healing activates, and you regain control over your inner world through the power of your spoken word. Healing begins the moment you align thought with truth, because the mind is the organizing power behind every function of the body. The subconscious does not wait for physical evidence before beginning its work. It responds instantly to the dominant vibration of your thought. When your thoughts are filled with confusion, fear, or doubt, the body mirrors that state. Muscles tighten, breath becomes shallow, digestion slows, and the nervous system stays on high alert. This environment makes healing difficult, not because the body lacks the ability to heal, but because the mind is sending signals of danger. The body cannot repair itself when the mind is projecting fear. But the very moment you shift your thinking toward peace, harmony, and truth, even slightly, the subconscious receives a new command. It immediately begins shutting down the stress response and activating the healing response. This happens before any physical change is visible, because healing always starts in the invisible realm of thought. Truth, in this context, is not complicated or theoretical. It is the simple but profound recognition that you are supported by a higher intelligence, that your body is designed to restore itself, and that divine order governs every function of your being. When you align with these truths, you stop feeding the subconscious conflicting messages. Truth communicates safety, and safety is the signal that stimulates healing at every level. When you think thoughts such as, "I am healing," "I am guided," "My body knows exactly what to do," or "Peace is operating in me now," you are aligning with the natural order built into your system. These thoughts open a pathway for the subconscious to do what it does best: restore balance. Thought alignment does not mean forcing yourself to be positive. It means choosing thoughts that reflect the deeper reality beneath fear. Fear is loud, but shallow. Truth is quiet, but powerful. Even a small shift toward truth creates measurable change in the body. When you think a peaceful thought, your heartbeat slows. When you imagine your body healing, your muscles relax. When you affirm wellness, your nervous system shifts out of survival mode. These responses are not imaginary, they are biological. The subconscious mind controls countless physiological processes, and it follows the direction set by your dominant thoughts. Healing begins with alignment, because misalignment creates resistance. When your thoughts say, "I'm afraid," "I'm getting worse," or "I can't handle this," you create tension. Tension restricts the flow of energy, blood, and oxygen. It blocks the signals that promote cellular repair. But when your thoughts reflect truth, "I am supported," "I am improving," "divine life is within me," you release resistance. This release allows the body to return to its natural state of harmony. Healing is not something you force, it is something you allow by aligning with the truth that you are meant to be whole. The subconscious mind works at its highest efficiency when your thoughts are calm and coherent. Coherent thoughts create coherent biological responses. Incoherent thoughts create conflict within the body. When you align with truth, you unify your inner world. The conscious mind agrees with what the subconscious already knows, that you are built for healing. This unity creates a powerful forward movement. It eliminates the internal tug-of-war that drains energy and instead directs all inner resources toward restoration. Even if symptoms remain temporarily, the healing process has already begun because the subconscious is following a new blueprint. Alignment with truth also brings clarity. Fear clouds perception and makes sensations seem worse than they are. Truth dissolves exaggeration. When your mind is aligned, you see discomfort as temporary and manageable. This shift reduces panic, which in turn reduces physical intensity. The body always responds to your interpretation, not just the sensation itself. When truth governs your interpretation, the body receives a message of reassurance. Reassurance relaxes the system. Relaxation accelerates healing. Healing begins the moment thought aligns with truth, because truth carries a higher vibration than fear. Fear fragments energy. Truth organizes it. Fear isolates. Truth reconnects you with the flow of life. Fear disturbs. Truth harmonizes. The instant you choose a truthful thought, the subconscious mind reorganizes its activity to match that thought. It adjusts hormones, relaxes tension, improves circulation, and activates immune functions. All of this happens automatically. The body is constantly listening to your thoughts and adjusting itself accordingly. You do not need perfect faith or absolute certainty for healing to begin. Even one sincere thought aligned with truth can start the process. One moment of peace can shift your entire system. One quiet affirmation can redirect subconscious patterns. The healing intelligence within you is always active. It only waits for your mind to stop contradicting it. When you align thought with truth, you step out of the way. You allow the deeper wisdom of your being to take over. Healing begins the moment you agree with what is already true, that you are capable of restoration, that harmony is natural, and that life is always working to bring you back into balance. Every moment of your life, you stand at the doorway of two worlds, the world of appearances and the world of divine truth. One is shaped by fear, habit, and the memory of pain. The other is shaped by harmony, law, and the quiet power of the subconscious mind responding to your every thought. Throughout this journey, you have discovered that your inner dialogue is not a whisper into empty space. It is a command impressed upon the creative medium of your being. When you talk to your pain, you are not speaking to a random disturbance. You are speaking to a pattern of belief, a record of old impressions, a formation in consciousness that dissolves the moment you withdraw your consent from it. Pain does not have intelligence, will, or permanence. It only has the energy you give it, and the moment you infuse that space with the authority of truth, the spell breaks. You have learned that your word is not merely sound, it is substance. It is the organizing force of divine order. When you speak to your body with conviction, when you affirm that harmony, peace, and perfection now reign, your subconscious accepts the new blueprint and sets the healing process into motion. Every cell listens. Every nerve responds. Every organ reorients itself to the law of restoration. The very chemistry of your being shifts to mirror the thoughts that occupy your mind. Faith becomes a physiological event. Belief becomes a measurable change in your internal environment. This is the miracle of alignment, the merging of your thought with the higher truth of your nature. Remember, nothing you have experienced has the power to imprison you unless you give it continued dominion through fear and repetition. You can reverse any inner condition the moment you refuse to renew the old patterns. Pain may come knocking through old memories or sensations, but it cannot enter your inner sanctuary unless you open the door. When you speak to your pain with the calm authority of truth, when you say, "You have no place here. Divine order governs my body. Peace fills this space." You are not begging for relief, you are commanding it. You are reclaiming your original design. The entire process of healing begins the moment you choose to think from truth rather than fear. Your alignment is the switch that turns darkness into light, confusion into clarity, disturbance into calm. When you hold fast to the idea that the divine is already at work within you, perfecting that which concerns you, the subconscious mind immediately obeys. It sends healing currents, rebalances systems, dissolves tension, and restores vitality. You are not waiting for healing, you are cooperating with it. You are not pleading for relief. You are stepping into the timeless law that has always been on your side. Let this be your final realization. You are never at the mercy of external conditions. You are never powerless before sensation. You are never abandoned to chance or circumstance. The same intelligence that formed you is the intelligence that heals you, guides you, restores you, and sustains you. And this infinite intelligence responds to your faith, your words, your inner vision. Every time you speak truth, you awaken the divine architect within. Every time you affirm harmony, you command the unseen forces of healing to move. Every time you choose peace over fear, you reorder the entire landscape of your being. So walk forward today with the calm certainty that the power to heal is not outside you, it is within you, responding to you, flowing through you. Speak to your body with love, speak to your mind with clarity, speak to your pain with authority, and watch the miracle unfold. Divine order is restoring you now, peace is filling you now. The healing you seek is already alive within you, waiting only for your recognition. This is the truth, this is the law, and this is the freedom that belongs to you now and forever.